Hello everyone, welcome to this new video in the C# tutorial series. Today we will see some cool things you can do with variables, and the first thing we will do is string interpolation. It's a very cool thing, but first we need two string containers, so let's make string 1 and let's set it equal to IM. We don't need these two from the last tutorial. And then let's make another string called string 2. Alright. And let's give it a CreeperFreaker, or you can put your name in here, right? And make sure to close it. So we're gonna keep the console.writeLine, and in here we will basically add string 1 plus string 2. So we will add them together, and as you will see, this is not something that we really want to use a lot, because you will get things like this here. So as you can see, it added IM CreeperFreaker right after each other, so there's no space here. Now you can add a space here if you just do this. So now if you put a space in here into the quotation marks, what we do now is do string 1, so IM. We do plus 1 space, and then we do plus string 2, which is CreeperFreaker. And if you run it now, you will see IM CreeperFreaker with a space here. Okay, but there is a better way to do this, and that is called string interpolation. So the way we do this is we use a $sign, then we use the two quotation marks, and then we just say in curly brackets string 1 space, again curly brackets, string 2. So what this does is basically when you declare the $sign here in front of the quotation marks, if you do the curly brackets, then the C# will basically look for the variable name, which is string 1, and it will just get this value, right? And if we run it again, we will see that it just gives the same solution. So I am CreeperFreaker with a space in between, and that is this space here, this one. And this is way easier for the computer to calculate, because if you do a plus here, it has to like sort of calculate this plus this is equal to this. So this is way easier for the computer, because now you just say, okay, get the value that is string 1, okay, it gets this, boom. Get the value that is string 2, okay, it is this, return. Alright, so this is string interpolation. It's really easy. Let's move on to some integer variables and do some stuff with that. So let's start off by creating an integer number 1, and let's set it equal to 5. Let's also make an integer number 2 and set it equal to 10. And now let's see what happens when we do number 1 plus number 2. So no specialties here, just number 1 plus number 2. As you can see, the code actually calculated 5 plus 10, right? It did not write 5 and then 10, like you would maybe expect. No, it really calculated it. It really calculated the value. But again, you can use string interpolation for this. So try to use string interpolation to print 5 space 10 at home. You can pause the video and then I'll just show you how to do it. Okay, I hope you've done it. So just the $sign, quotation marks, and then number 1 in curly brackets, of course. And space, curly brackets, number 2. And if we run it now, you can see that it printed 5 space 10. So that is string interpolation. No calculations here. Now we will see some other cool stuff you can do with strings. It's not really important that you know these, but sometimes they come in handy. So let's just make a string word, and let's set it equal to this is a word. And so what we can do now is we can say word dot, and now you will see a lot of names here. Most of these are methods, and let's say, for example, to upper, and make sure you get the brackets here. So to upper is a method, and this method will basically turn all of these letters into uppercase letters. So it takes the words variable and it calls the method to upper, and as you can see, now we have this is a word, but it's all in uppercase, right? There's also to lower methods, which can also be sometimes handy. Another thing you can use is dot length. This will basically just display the length of the words, so 14, and as you can see, there's 14 here, but it's zero based, so you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up until 14. So that's the length. That might come in handy sometimes. And again, you can just do dots and then just look here, what is here. For example, contains, what does this do? Well, contains, you put in this, in the brackets, of course. And contains will look if this is inside of the variable words. And normally, yep, it returns true because this is inside of the string we made. You can also do it for is, or let's say ORD. ORD is also true because words ORD is in there. And if you would put in, for example, Xelo, then of course it will return false because there's no such thing as Xelo in this variable. And yeah, those are some cool things you can do with strings. You can also do some at home, like if you just do the dots and you can like look a bit and experiment a bit with those. So yeah, these are some cool things you can do with variables. In the next video, we will learn how to get user inputs and actually use that user inputs to make a little program. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, which will be normally next week, maybe the week after, we will see. And yeah, like the video if you liked, subscribe if you also liked, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.